Venus is the second planet closest to the Sun after Mercury. It is similar to Earth in mass and size and has no moons. Its hellish temperatures and crushing toxic atmosphere make it a difficult planet to explore. For this reason, it remains as fascinating as it is mysterious today. Venus is often called Earth's twin, but only for its size, which is similar to our planets. In fact, it is only 5% smaller. Otherwise, they are two completely different planets. While Earth is a paradise that hosts life, Venus is a scorching world with infernal surface temperatures. Venus has a dense and toxic atmosphere composed of 96% carbon dioxide, with the rest consisting of small amounts of nitrogen and other chemical elements. Carbon dioxide is the same greenhouse gas that causes global warming on Earth. The same thing happens on Venus, but much more intensely. To make matters worse, there are yellowish clouds of sulfuric acid that permanently envelop the planet and help trap heat. If combined with the hydrogen present in the atmosphere, sulfuric acid takes on a disgusting smell. If we could smell the clouds of Venus, they would stink of rotten eggs. The main layer of Venus's atmosphere is about 120 kilometers thick, but what is striking is the incredible pressure on the surface, which is 90 times that of Earth. If we could walk on Venus, we would feel pressure as if we were over 900 meters deep underwater. According to testimonies from divers who have descended over 300 meters deep, they experienced violent convulsions and loss of limb control. Additionally, they had nausea and vomiting. Tests have also been conducted with divers in hyperbaric chambers who survived pressures equivalent to 700 meters depth. So, if we wanted to, yes, we could go to Venus and take a walk. We would just have to endure some involuntary spasms, vomiting, and nausea. We have seen that Venus's dense atmosphere traps the sun's heat, causing temperatures to rise to record levels. The greenhouse effect is so high that Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system, even though Mercury is closer to the Sun. The surface temperature reaches about 475 degrees Celsius, so high that while lead is a solid metal on Earth, on Venus it melts, forming liquid surfaces. Additionally, the planet's axis of rotation is tilted by only 3 degrees, so Venus does not have seasons like Earth and does not have temperature variations throughout the year. On the surface of Venus, winds blow at a few kilometers per hour, but at higher altitudes, the speed increases dramatically. The clouds about 70 kilometers high rotate faster than the planet, taking just 4 days to complete a full rotation. Clouds have been observed moving at speeds of 400 kilometers per hour. If we look at Earth or even Mars, we can see the ground through the atmosphere. The atmosphere surrounding Venus prevents us from seeing its surface with ordinary telescopes. The Magellan probe, in the early 90s, mapped Venus's surface by penetrating its dense clouds with radar pulses. The Soviet Union sent a series of probes to Venus between 61 and 84 as part of the Venera program, Venus in Russian. 10 probes managed to reach the surface, and some worked briefly after landing. The probe that survived the longest operated for about 2 hours. Most of Venus's surface consists of volcanic basalt plains. There are some mountains and thousands of large volcanoes, some of which may still be active. Venus's surface formed relatively recently, making it the rocky planet with the fewest meteorite impacts on its surface. Volcanic and tectonic activity may have erased the old surface to form a new one. The planet's density is similar to Earth's, so on Venus, we would feel a similar gravitational acceleration to what we experience here, slightly lower. Venus's terrain is mainly flat. More than 60% of the surface does not exceed 500 meters in height, except for some very high mountains, such as Mount Maxwell, which is the highest point on the planet, reaching 11 kilometers in height, higher than Mount Everest. Mount Maxwell is also the coldest point, where the temperature reaches 380 degrees Celsius. Earlier, we mentioned that Venus's axis of rotation is tilted by only 3 degrees, but it might be more accurate to say it is tilted by 177 degrees, meaning it is rotated by 180 degrees. Indeed, Venus rotates on itself in the opposite direction to most other planets in the solar system. It is believed that Venus initially rotated around its axis in the same direction as the other planets, but a violent impact with another body may have stopped its rotation, reversed it, or flipped it by 180 degrees. This reverse rotation is called retrograde. This means that on Venus, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east, opposite to what we see on Earth. Venus rotates very slowly around its axis. A day lasts 243 Earth days, while a year lasts just 225 Earth days. In other words, a day on Venus is longer than a year. Today we know that water is a fundamental element for the existence of life as we know it. Venus currently has no liquid water on its surface because its high temperatures would make it evaporate instantly. But if before turning into a hell, Venus had temperatures similar to Earth's, then it might have had seas and lakes and thus hosted some form of life. It is believed that water arrived on Earth thanks to comets. If this happened for Earth, it might have happened for Venus as well. Currently, we do not know if Venus ever had a hydrogeological cycle. Understanding the planet's past, for now, seems difficult if not impossible. Some scientists hypothesize that extremophile microbes could live in the planet's clouds, where the temperature ranges between 30 and 70 degrees Celsius and the pressure is similar to that of Earth's surface. To answer the question of whether Venus was ever habitable, there is a NASA mission called Da Vinci that plans to send a probe to the planet's surface by 2030 to determine if there was ever water. In March 1982, the Venera 13 probe landed on Venus and managed to withstand for about 2 hours, during which it recorded the sound from another world for the first time. The sulfuric acid clouds enveloping the planet reflect sunlight, making Venus one of the brightest objects in the night sky, after the Moon. The Moon reflects only 7% of the Sun's light, while Venus reflects about 10 times more, roughly 70% of the Sun's light. It is possible to see Venus with the naked eye in the morning before sunrise or in the evening after sunset, depending on its position relative to our planet. If you liked this video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel.